So, you may be wondering what brings me down to a absolutely Baltic Canterbury Golf Club. As you all know, I'm trying to get through open qualifying, and getting through regionals has already proved to be a little bit of a problem. So I'm down here to see a man who's managed to do that by changing his approach to how he played and how he practiced. Hi guys, my name is Peter Finch and I'm joined here by Danny Maude. Now if you don't recognise Danny, make sure you hop down into the description and check out his channel. Make sure you subscribe while you're over there as well. And if you are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button also. Now I've been in contact with Danny, chatted to Danny for a while now, just about getting some videos done, which we are doing in the next few days here at Canterbury, but also Danny's story about basically how to get through regional qualifying, how you change your approach to actually play and practice to do that. Well, it kind of inspired me to kind of want to come down here and just chat to Danny about that. So Danny, just first of all, just set the scene a little bit. So what was the kind of inspiration about trying to get through open qualifying, and what was the point where you actually started to change? What was the realization point?
I was playing a real big tournament at Wentworth, God, probably maybe 10, 11 years ago, and I was stood on the tee, 10th tee, I'm like 4 or 5 over par, I'm pretty much out of the tournament at this stage, and I didn't have a clue where the ball was going whatsoever. It was literally, I've stood over, there's so many swing thoughts going through my head.
A lot of people can relate to this,
and,
I think.
I didn't have a clue where the ball was going, and then out from the crowd, my dad shouts, "Just hit the bloody ball, I can hear your brain ticking from over here." So slightly embarrassed. I kind of...
You got to love dads, aren't you?
Exactly. Slightly embarrassed, I decided to just hit the bloody ball. And for the first time in a while, it actually felt a little bit freer. And it wasn't like this amazing story that I turned it all around and whatnot. But as I started to play on through that period, it just started to feel better, not having to think too much. And that was an opening there, because I was on the borderline at that stage of probably quitting the game, because it got to a stage where it was just, I didn't know where the ball was going.
Right, okay.
Just too technical, yeah, frustrating.
So what we're going to do is we're going to head out onto the golf course here at Canterbury and actually play a few holes and just talk through from where you went from there to kind of how you figured out how you could change everything, how you could change your practice routines, and then eventually what that led to. It's a pretty cool story in many respects. So first hole here we're going to be playing is the 15th. No warm-up shots, but it's okay. We'll loosen limber.
Load it up.
Only got 16 layers on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll let you go first. You're a guest.
Yeah, thanks. So this is a 15th at Canterbury. Dogleg from left to right. Tough hole this one, because the fairway cambers away down the left-hand side, so it really requires a strong fade around the corner to hold the fairway, leaving probably about 130 yards in for the second shot. If I manage to strike it.
A strong fade. This is my kind of hole. Shot. If this manages to get over 200 yards, I'm going to be absolutely delighted.
He's a master expectation management. I might just be on the yellow tees.
Maybe this is
going to be on the yellow
this
tees.
is the start of the psychological training.
Oh, this is where it begins, guys. This is where
it begins.
It begins, right? Okay. I will get it past the yellows.
You will.
I will get it past the yellows.
Put me a shot yesterday, doesn't
Oh, no, they didn't. No. Right. Okay. Past the yellows.
Oh, look at that, perfect.
That's right, that's what he said.
Little fade.
Perfect, that's what he said. See, I'm already going to be qualifying for the Open already. So I think me and Danny are quite evenly matched. That's.
I think you've done me by a couple of inches.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to brag, but the swan kind of made a difference. Went that way.
It's
like
a vegan diet.
Yeah, see, it's a living swan, not a dead swan. I don't eat the swan. Does anyone eat swan anymore? The Queen? Does the Queen munch down on some swan?
Probably not.
No. So one of the things I found interesting with you, Danny, when we started talking about this, is your background in kind of NLP and that type of thing. Just talk through exactly what that is for people who might not understand.
Really simply, it's kind of understanding that at times we do things really brilliantly, and we're unaware of how we go about doing those things. So a lot of the questions you obviously get from our clients is, why do I hit a great shot 1 minute but not the next? So a lot of these things are really unconscious. We just don't know how we do them, and what NLP does is, in a sense, it helps you kind of understand yourself and understand that hidden strategy that lies in here, so that basically you can bring it out more.
Okay. And by the way, this is very much going to be based on kind of how you think, and both me and Danny have done a lot of coaching videos in the past, and we're not saying that it's completely possible to think your way to becoming an absolute expert golfer. You do need to put the technical work, you do need to put the practice in, but there does come a point when you need to go play rather than just going out on the course to practice, and that's something which I get stuck in so much within my own head, of going out working on technique rather than actually just working on playing golf. And I think a lot of people get stuck in that as well. And how did you actually make that switch from kind of playing, not knowing where the ball was going, to then actually starting to play really good golf?
I think the first stage came from I wasn't really enjoying it. I think I was out on the golf course and I really just wasn't enjoying it because I was confused. I had so many things to think about that in the end I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna see what it's like if I just literally go and play and have some fun and accept the consequences. So literally, if I snap hook one, I snap hook one. It was, so that was the first bit. That was the very first stage. Was literally spending some time, having some fun, getting to know my playing partners. I'd found myself sometimes I was so stuck in my own head that I just really wasn't, getting to know them. I wasn't having a chat with them, and it just wasn't fun. So I got out there, stopped thinking so much, and started enjoying myself.
Okay, so rule number 1, got to remember to have fun. And at the end of the day, it is a game. Like, if you are playing a game and you're not having fun on it.
And do you know what the silly thing is? There was a research study done in the States that said that the most unhappiest golfers in the world are professional golfers.
Okay.
Which is crazy. We're
It's true.
It's terrible.
It's true.
We're the lowest handicappers, and in the top, say 1%, and often the most miserable because we've got such high expectations. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves. So
okay, well there you go. That's going to be the first thing. I will play with a smile on my face from now on.
So ball above feet. It's going to choke down a little bit on the club. Ball's going to probably drift from right to left here, and it's a back left flag. So I'm not going to really take that on because it's dead left. So I'm just going to try and send it out to the right and bring it in. All sounds very professional.
Yeah, it sounds like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it does. Let's see. Up, tugged it.
Tagged it.
Tagged it. I'd exactly said that. Oh, Jesus, lovely. Beautiful.
Remember to smile, Danny. got to enjoy yourself. Got to enjoy it. Right, okay. Is that just a chippy 8?
Yeah, it's a little chippy 8,
It's one of those mornings where you're wearing that many layers, you can't feel like you can actually swing. So like a slightly shortened technique. So I'm not going to think about anything here, mate.
Just enjoy it.
And balls above my feet, so I'm just going to aim right, I'm just going to let it come round.
That's it. Visualise.
Just visualise. Visualise that shot.
Focus on that.
Ah, this might be going in, Oh yeah, is there a par 3 coming up?
Yeah, I've heard about your par 3s.
Oh dear, right.
That's going to come in nicely.
Oh, look at that,
There you go.
Centre of the green, very safe play. Smiling.
Smile on your face.
Smile on my face. No dribbling. It's a good day.
Okay, so short side myself, shocking place to be. Going to require a very small lob shot. So this is kind of just striking the ground a little bit behind the ball and hopefully letting it pop up using elevation to stop it rather than backspin.
Pretty good from there, that.
Not too bad.
By the way, how firm are these greens?
Yes.
It's not chalk based or anything, this, is it?
No. Well, actually, this part is a mixture between chalk and clay. Or this section of the golf course, it's clay, and on the lower section, this is a bit of a difference.
I was going to say the green's so firm.
Yeah.
Look good as well.
They're really good. They're really good. We got a great new greenkeeper, Ray. He's been here for couple of years now and did a really, really good job, turned it around.
Well, Ray, I've only played one hole so far, but it's looking good. Ray,
Are you a
congratulations.
flag in or a flag out?
He's a flag in.
A flag in?
I know that.
Danny, it's 2019, all right?
Flag
You got to
in?
move with the times, mate. You got to
Jeez.
move with the times.
With a smart-
Stop being stuck in 18. Come on, move to 90. Right, okay, so it's going to break right to left quite a lot. I'm not even going to line it up. I'm just going to go for it, Danny, mate.
Go for it.
Just going to see the shot. Yeah, maybe should have lined up a little bit more. So one of the big strengths of Danny's game is his putting, and in your own words, wow, look at that little bad boy. This putter has seen things, man. It's been around.
It has. It says, I do you know what, this is the thing that I get most nervous of whenever I fly.
Just to see if that's going to be Danny's, right?
Please, yeah, don't anyone steal this putter. It's worth nothing to anybody apart from me.
Wow. Mate, hey, a good putter which holds putt is worth a lot
It
to a
is,
golfer.
it is, it
And like
is.
you say, you always used to be quite a streaky putter, were you saying? And then-
It's always been a strong part of my game, but I was a bit streaky and I kind of wanted to understand how to get those streaks out of the stroke. And it really kind of boiled down to, again, I had a little bit too many mechanics at times.
Okay.
In it, so I started to get rid of those and I kept it really simple. So I went into some real simple mechanics and then got into a basic routine, which was got myself nice and stable, nice wide stance to keep nice and still. I made sure everything was completely square, so shoulders, hips. And then it was a case of just trusting my instincts to start to hold putt. So I'd get into a routine where I almost call it my 1, 2, 3, where I'd always see the ball going in. So a lot of times I'd be often seeing it missing. You know, or I wasn't focusing enough on trying to get it in. I was concentrating more on my technique.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, okay, I've got to rock my shoulders because that's what people say, and all those technical thoughts were getting in the way of the actual trying to hit the thing in the hole. So once I got into that habit, I thought, right, forget about the technique, get the basics in play, which is the setup, get myself set, and I see this ball now, almost like a white line, moving into the hole. And just 1, 2, get feel for it, and then don't waste any time, but get to the ball and just go. Just hadn't hit it. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. I know, literally, and my goal when I played around in golf was if I would review each hole saying, look, did I stick to that routine? If I did, I'd give myself a big tick in the box. Whether it went in or not, I'm happy with that because I stuck to my routine. And that takes the pressure off as well, because I found that, I used to think, if it's missed, I get a bit frustrated, but now I set more what I saw in psychological terms, it would be more process goals.
Okay.
So I'd go through that system. If I stuck to it, really committed to the stroke, whether it went in or missed, doesn't really matter. I'm happy.
You're happy because you've gone through that process.
And that process, strange enough, because I trusted it, I started to hold more putts. I was much more relaxed on the greens, and I started to integrate that system for my chipping, iron play, and the driving.
See? Well, there you go. Right, okay, so we'll move on to the 16th. He's one down. Pretty straightforward, this damage straight down.
Yeah, down the right, trying to stick to the right side, getting the camera's way to the left. So yeah, anywhere down the right centre is perfect.
And it's 16th.
16th?
16th.
I'm so in the zone, John, I don't even know. It's just an extra hole for me.
Stop thinking.
Okay.
So hold on a little. Might be a bit tight, might be okay.
Yeah, looks like it's just rolled off, maybe left hand side. Struck it pretty well though. Didn't think about anything, mate. Just went in, hit
That's
it.
it, grip it and rip it.
Grip it and rip it.
So I think one of the things I was doing with this is I started off literally gripping and ripping it, but that got a little bit chaotic. So I started to kind of have a system which was just more, I can almost see if I can hold that visualization through the entire shot.
And when you say visualization, this is something which I think quite a few people do struggle with because they're like, well, what does that mean, visualizing it? Now, certainly one thing that I found, it's the colour of, how do you see red? What's your version of red? Like, it's so individual, it doesn't matter. I mean, visualization for me, because I've spent that much time editing them, I'm kind of like thinking shot tracer
tracer,
wise.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
how
yeah.
I'm kind of seeing it.
Yeah.
But how do you actually see
Kind
it?
of the same. So I taught myself. One of the things I found is I taught myself through a shot. So I'll say like I'm going to play and I use a lot hand gestures, visualization, and I'm speaking. So I'm using all three senses.
Oh right, yeah. Okay, so this is the NLP stuff. So
Yeah.
you're attaching something physical to the actual
Physical. So
motion.
it's kind of like stand there and go. All right, it's going to be a high draw going down the right hand side, and I'm almost kind of talking myself through it and visualizing at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's something which I really like about that kind of process. It's not so much you just stood there thinking.
No.
Because that's when other thoughts can kind
Yeah.
of come in. When you actually act something physical out,
Yeah.
it then becomes a little bit more real, doesn't it? You can
Yeah.
actually sense it a little bit more.
Absolutely, and again, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get more into your natural way of doing things. I think again, if you start to get too mechanical on the tee shot, you lose this kind of natural flow, and you get so many people stuck over the golf ball because they think there's so many things. You know, this isn't going to be this magic cure. It's just another part of being a good golfer. But I think it's just one thing when you're on a golf course. It kind of people need freeing up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whoa, oh that one.
Literally going to be next to each other as well.
That's
Making
a-
filming. Oh, that took a bit of a kick. Making filming easy, Danny.
Hey?
You were aiming for my ball, weren't
I
you?
was.
Yeah.
That was a shocking
You were
swing.
aiming for my ball. So we've just spoken about a little bit about NLP, a little bit about visualization and that type of thing when on the golf course. But one thing which really interests me when you start to talk about practice
Yeah.
and how you actually changed that and made that a little bit more accountable. Can you
Yeah.
just kind of talk through that? Because this is something which I ask all my players to do, and I'm
Yeah.
incredibly guilty of not doing it myself.
Yeah.
It's like,
So so really, I think I was caught into the trap that most of us do. It sometimes you're kind of beating ball after ball.
Yeah.
We're in the driving range. You know, let's say you're working on a backswing move, you focus on the backswing move, and then you go home. But I just found that on a golf course, you get one chance. So you've got to get into the habit of, in a sense, if you only got one ball to play with, you've got to get used to. You've got to build some form of routine. So what I did is, if I had a basket of, let's say, 100 balls, I'd maybe spend 60 working on the mechanics or whatever I was trying to change, and the next 40, I would start to build a system and a routine that I could take straight to the golf course. Almost like, if I jump in a car, I want it to turn to automatic. I don't want to be stood on the first tee thinking, what have I got to remember? I literally wanted to kind of have everything set up from behind the ball, what I was going to do, this pace that I was going into the golf ball at, and hitting it.
so really focusing on your routine and how to take what you've just worked on
Absolutely.
to an actual routine.
Everything, including all this action, anything that I was trying to do. I changed my clubs up on a regular basis too, just to kind of mimic what I was going to do on the golf course.
So when you were actually practicing, were you logging your practice sessions as well and exactly what you were doing?
Now what I do is I kind of keep it, I'm not that organised. I wanted to make it fun. I was teaching the Kent boys here at the time, and at the end of every session we'd have these fun games. And we'd kind of try and draw it around corners and hit these bins and what have you. And I kind of went home every night kind of realising that, God, look, I can do all that without thinking.
Yeah.
Whereas on a golf course, I'm like, right, set up for a draw, I aim a little bit right, get the shoulders closed off a little bit, release it, etc. So it was just all too complicated. So what I'd do is I'd literally go with the intention to, yes, work on mechanics and then have some fun. So go through my routines, try to play different shots, drawing it, fading it, low, high. And then what I'd do at the end of every session, I'd have this little review, which I took actually from Vision 54.
Yeah.
Which was what 3 things were great about the session, what 1 thing could I have done better, and how could I make it so. So that how bit would make me then design the next session next time I was out. So yeah, it worked fantastically well.
Cool. Awesome.
Very different to focusing on what was going wrong all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
Cool.
helpful.
That's good.
Good shot. That's okay.
What did you hit then?
Sandwich.
Always change
It's a front flag. It's a front flag.
It's just so I don't have to think about it too much, John. See, I'm just gonna.
You thought about it so little you changed your club at the last.
Yeah. So listen, it's
We've got
about.
inside his head. We got inside his head already.
Well, it's going to be about 90 yards there. So looks like it's going to camber. I'm just going to aim a little bit right at the flag. Just going to try and feel it kind of going in there. A little bit of skip at the front of the green, and just roll it out.
Come round.
It's gotta go, gotta go. Oh, so close.
That's okay, front edge is good.
So close to being very good though. Saw the shot, tried to execute it. I think there might be something in this, you know. There might be something in this.
I'm getting there
Needed
today.
hitting again.
Not
yeah.
getting there today.
Yeah, so I'm very much going to be staying present. And that's one thing which kind of spoke about with the NLP about staying present. The best way that I've found, and this is something, again, I just need to do so much more on myself in my game and kind of other people I think do as well, is literally just ask yourself a question.
Yeah.
When you ask yourself a question,
Absolutely.
you will have to be present if you want to answer it, won't you? So with this type of stuff, it's so what is this put actually doing? Well, I know that it's actually going to be breaking there. Where do I actually need to set this off? Well, I know I need to set it off kind of along that line. Can I see it going in along that line? Yeah, I can see it going in along that line. Can I hole it? Yes.
With
Yes,
a smile.
I can. And then just getting on with it really, making all me movements. Oh, I just need it again.
And yeah, they're a bit slow this morning.
They're a little bit slow, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Line that as well.
First time I went to London Club, the greens are like twice as fast.
Okay.
And I'd find myself I couldn't get to the pace. So I'd be telling myself, oh gosh, you know, don't hit it too hard and what have you. And you'd just spend the entire round of golf kind of like decelerating, and then you'd lag it short, and then you'd smash it by. And in the end, I played a little game where I'd actually play the guess where it's gone game, which I'd actually use this as my warm-up routine.
I do this with my driving.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in a positive way though.
It's what you ask for the players. So yeah, I'd get myself set, and in order to get the pace, I'd literally get myself set here, and I won't look where it's gone, but I'll guess where it's gone. And I'll trust my intuition, and I reckon that's about, a foot and a half short. It's gone past.
John kicked it.
But what that does is it tells me that my intuition's out at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically what I do now is I wouldn't leave the putting green until my guesses were right.
Yeah.
And the idea then is that when I stand over a putt, when I finally get it, when I get over a putt actually out on the golf course, is I don't have to think about distance control.
Okay.
I literally just line myself up, and away I go, and I completely then trust my intuition. But if you haven't warmed up beforehand, and you haven't built that intuition, you do what I've just done there, and you're going to be out all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was Bobby Lott's thing, that wasn't it, as well? Like listening for it, trying to listen for it to drop.
Yep.
As well, so not actually kind of paying attention to when you've actually hit it, where it's gone, just trusting it's going to go.
Absolutely.
I can actually see the hole here, so I'll look away when I hit it.
Go on then.
That felt a tiny bit short.
He was a tiny bit short.
And by
Intuition's
tiny,
good.
my measurement of tiny is like a couple of inches, so I think, yeah. I think I was...
So many comments.
I must say the word.
So Danny, how many hole-in-ones you had?
Just two.
Just two.
Just two. One being here, actually.
Whoa, Peter.
How many have you had, Peter?
Set out too far right, didn't draw it enough.
It's all right, we can, you show me how to play those bunkers.
That's why I've not had an hole-in-one.
Right then, come on.
What have you got, Danny?
4-iron,
4-iron as well.
same idea. Same idea. Oh, I towed it.
Oh, a bit toey, go, 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 go.
Those layers are getting tighter. Can't quite complete.
So I've mistakenly pulled my 64/70 degree wedge out, which I've been doing some videos with. So yeah, I'm just gonna, it's just gonna go high. It's gonna land quite soft, I suppose. Just need to try and get it up to the pin. So hard to hit it hard enough.
That's not bad. We'll take it, we'll take it.
Is it all right?
Not too bad. 56 degrees. I probably could do my 60 here really.
I got a 70 you could have.
I could do with a 70 here actually. Right.
Oh, great shot. Go in.
Oh,
Hit my ball.
downhill from there. Tricky little shot. Let's roll these in. It's a bit of a sloppy couple of holes.
Well, we've been chatting.
We have.
We've not been very present in our shots. More like it.
Ah, that'll do.
That is more like it. He did say put it. That swung loads. That.
Did, didn't it?
To give it maybe a touch more.
Come on. Oh,
What? It's like a fish hook. Oh,
I
well,
gave you the line as well.
the all square going down the last. Disgraceful. So you've gone from not knowing where the ball's going
Yep.
to enjoying yourself,
Yep.
to using more of the NLP stuff,
Yep.
to becoming more present, to practicing more in a game-like situation and just
Yep.
keeping note of what you've been doing. And now we actually move on to a little bit of open qualifying.
Yes.
So regional qualifying, talk to me kind of your experiences with that and what your process was to actually kind of get through in the end.
I think one of the things I started to do, I mean, this about having fun was a big part of it. So I set myself some goals before the regional qualifying, which was to, sounds a bit hokey pokey this, but live by 2 or 3 rules, which was to be adventurous, be courageous, and have fun. I can't tell you how much it helped because I played the first 4 holes, not quite committing to them, and I was a 1 over par at that stage, and I was just nervy, really nervy.
Understandable, yeah.
And I got to the 5th hole, par 5, and I'd nailed the tee shot down the fairway, and I'm stood on the 2nd shot, and I'm there just about to lay up, and I just caught myself, and I went, is this how I really want to play this game? And I thought about the end. I thought, you know, after the end, have I had fun? I've been courageous. I've been adventurous. And the answer is yes. Whatever I scored, it would be a success. So I put the iron away, took out my 3-wood, went for to rip it onto the green, and topped it. But you know what? It felt like a really good top. And because it set the tone for the entire game, I thought, you know what could go worse? So that set the entire tone, and I literally, any pressure then, just disappeared. Wow. And I enjoyed the next, 13 holes. I just had so much fun. And coming down the last, birdied the last, I qualified by, I think 2 or 3 in the end. Wow. But I just enjoyed the whole process.
I think that shows such a good mindset, definitely a positive mindset. First of all, to kind of catch yourself and say, you know what, no, I want to go for it. I want to play free, I want to be adventurous. Yeah. But then to actually hit that top, which, that's the thing about this, it doesn't matter if you implement all these rules to the T and, it's absolutely perfect as far as the mental game is concerned, you're still going to hit bad shots.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
Golf's too hard not to. Yeah. But what's really good, I can see quite a lot of people after hitting that top shot, go.
Yeah,
mentally.
Absolutely.
Rather than actually go the other way and actually have less pressure.
Because I'd set the goal up before the round to be adventurous, I'd achieved it. I'd actually, under all that pressure, I'd actually done something that I said I was going to do. And it just felt, it was amazing how it just kind of relieved, everything.
So after the regional qualifying, got through to final qualifying.
Yep.
Did well the first round and then not so well second round, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was in there in the first round. I was 1 over after the first round, so not too far behind. And then I think Shiv Kapur was 4 under par, and I'm thinking I got to make some birdies. And I left. I shot 7 over in the second half and just kind of blew it. But again, it was just a great learning experience. Absolute learning experience. And coming down that one of the holes, you could see the difference in mindset of some of the guys like Shiv Kapur. This is where practice comes in. He's got a wedge shot into one of the holes, and there's a wall tucked away on the right hand side, and he went for it full belt and stuck it to a couple of feet. I went down the same hole, and I'm thinking, stay away from the wall a little bit, towards the middle of the green, and that's the difference.
You weren't living adventurously.
I know, I wasn't.
It's all about living adventurously, guys. So hopefully you found that interesting. Hopefully that will give you an insight into how you can change your mental approach to play better golf, and it's certainly something that I need to take on board myself as I'm going through this Quest for the Open stuff. So, Danny, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I really appreciate you coming down. And
guys, just make
making the
sure
effort.
that if you've not checked out Danny before, head down into the description, check out his channel, go subscribe, does some really good stuff. And if you are new to this channel, please do the same. Subscribe, like the video, comment below on what you've seen, and we'll see you down here next time. Shall we go get a coffee?
Lovely.
Okay.